Good evening, everyone. This is Michael Robbins, substituting for Tuya Robbins, who usually does these Ask programs. And I'm we are broadcasting from the Little Bear Meditation Center here rather far above the Arctic Circle, around 70 degrees north latitude. We begin this week with our work at 5 p.m. GMT. And as you know, triangles on Wednesday, reappearance of the Christ on Thursday, the webinar for Glamour, it's not a broadcast, webinar for Glamour on Friday. And we're working now, I think we'll begin working on the work of individual glamour. We've been talking about the Tibetans' ideas for national and world glamour, and of course all of them are interrelated. And then on Saturday we have readings and discussion and meditation from Destiny of the Nations, and when we get back to the South we will be working again with the individual countries, invoking the soul of individual nations. And then on Sunday, the attracting money for hierarchical purposes. I also want to say that we have coming up the Libra equinox. Well, you know, the autumn equinox here in the north, and as it's called, the spring equinox south of the equator. So that will begin, that broadcast will begin tomorrow, actually, at, let's see now, 4:10, 10 minutes after 1 p.m. GMT, and here in Finland, 4:10 p.m. And the actual time is 2:21 and 5 seconds, I think, p.m. GMT, the actual time when the sun ingresses into the sign Libra. The idea of the equinox is a special kind of ingress. There are 12 ingresses of the sun into each one of the signs during the year, but at the equinox and the equinoxes and the solstices, those are special moments, and so this will be a special moment. I hope you can join us. You should have received the link for that, and if not, just write me infinitize8@gmail.com. Well, we're going to now begin our work with the triangles meditation. Of course, in a way, it can be done very simply, very easily. During the day, you don't have to go through any elaborate process. The important thing is to link up with your fellow triangle members, whether you have one triangle or more, and bring light and goodwill, which is love in action, into the triangle. And then at a certain point, after all of the triangles are visualized and the feeling of love and goodwill and the sense of light is radiating through these triangles, and you have linked up with the Greater Triangles Network, which is spreading all over the world, then you say the great invocation. And it doesn't really make any difference. You don't have to, the Triangles members obviously don't have to do this at the same time. The inner process is what counts, and we do know it's an exercise, it's an activity very close to Master DK's heart, and he says it must go on, it must go on. So obviously it has a huge redemptive potential in the world, and even though it's very simple in some ways and very subjective and not seen by others, it can condition the thoughts of humanity, and when thoughts are inclined in a certain direction, right action follows. So you can see the value you can see the importance. Okay, friends, we will now begin our work. So, link up with your soul. And try to feel the energy of the soul, the light, the love, the will to good of the soul pouring into your consciousness, into your personal consciousness. And we will sound the Om 3 times, linked up with the soul. We will sound the Om inaudibly. And we visualize the network of golden triangles, which has been in process of building maybe 70 years, maybe a bit more. This network of golden triangles is covering the entire planet. We try to sense the reality of this network of triangles. And as part of this rapidly developing network, you have your own triangle or triangles. Some people have a great many, some people focus on a few or even on one. But focus on the little network of triangles that you are working in, or if you are not yet working, then do make sure that you start to do so soon. And as you focus upon your own little network, you call upon your group triangle members by name and with love, visualizing that all of these participants are really soul-infused personalities, and the soul energy is flowing through your triangular triangles. It is love and goodwill that pass through our triangles, the triangles in which we participate. Try to feel this energy with the heart. It is a direct reflection of soul energy. And to help with this, sometimes people will visualize the Lord Maitreya at the very center of each triangle, or the Master. And through your little network as well, it is spiritual light that is passing between the members of the triangular triangles. It's soul light. Try to be aware of the reality of this illumination, visualizing it. We just see these energies sustained, flowing through the triangles consistently. Now, through an act of the creative imagination, we link our little network of triangles to the network of golden triangles, the global network of triangles. Try to feel that the presence of that greater network, linking people from all over the world, linking the different centers and continents on our globe. Many are the international triangles and triangles between groups even. We try to realize that this whole process really connects with Shambhala. There, the three Buddhas of activity form a kind of ultimate triangle which inspires the entire network. And one can almost think of Sanat Kumara, the Lord of the world, at the center of that triangle, which is factual. So, although we don't understand them so very well, though there are some wonderful descriptions in the rays and the initiations, we link with these Buddhas of activity. We see the triangle network, or the global triangle network, linked with them. One of them on each of the rays, and they uphold the great third aspect of divinity on our planet. And the triangle is, of course, the symbol of that aspect, the threefold triangle. We realize how high this network goes, and when we have a triangle or a little network of triangles, we are participating in something, a subjective process reaching all the way up to Shambhala. And if there is a need, emergency arising, the Buddhas can stimulate the triangle's network to help humanity get through some difficulties which are certainly imminent in our world situation. So try to have the sense of the importance of this subjective work and carry out your little part in it in a way that is befitting the importance, the dignity, the necessity of this work. Every day, for a short time, you strengthening the network. Now we know that the great invocation is a very important part of this work. This is our most powerful instrument for facilitating the timely return of the Christ. So we will now participate, thinking of our triangles, seeing the energies circulate, the energies of light, love, and the will to good circulate in our network and in the Greater Triangles network as we listen to the great invocation. golden network of triangles is visualized as covering the entire planet. There's so much occultism behind and within this process, and we imagine that at least 100,000 triangles are functioning actively within the etheric body of our planet. It is said that Alice Bailey told a friend of hers at headquarters in the old days that the Tibetan told her that that's what it would take, about 100,000 triangles to turn the tide towards the expression of the divine plan. The Earth will be a sacred planet, and we're on our way to making it that way. We have our little part to play, and inwardly we are told that our planet is already sacred. It's just a question of working out that sacredness in the lower three worlds, and that, of course, is where the triangles become so very important. So inwardly sound the Om 3 times. Sustaining throughout your day at different times that flashing visualization of the light and love flowing through the triangles network and through your own little network of triangles. The work depends upon the intensity of our feeling, the depth of our feeling, clarity of our visualization, our earnestness. It's not difficult to do, but we must do it every day. So tomorrow we will continue with the reappearance of the Christ at 5 p.m. GMT, late afternoon GMT, but earlier on there will be the broadcast. Tuya will lead the broadcast for the autumn equinox here in the north, the ingress into the sign of Libra. And in Libra, important decisions are made by every one of us and by our groups and by humanity as a whole. And we will hear the Gayatri. There are a few more slides, and then that'll be all for this program. Thank you for being here with Tuya and me. We appreciate very much your presence. It helps within the greater plan, however small our part may be.
sun.